Welcome, everyone. You're listening to Astrologer host Holly Poole on the Welcome to My World program. Thank you for joining us this morning. And today in studio, we're happy to have Brenda Mailer. Welcome, Brenda.
Hi, thank you.
Today we're talking about Chakradance. And when I originally heard just the name of Chakradance, I thought, how cool is that? Tell us a little bit about Chakradance. What is it?
Chakradance is a spontaneous dance where you're basically moving to music that stimulates your chakras, works with your energetic body, and just allows you to freely move and kind of, bring a healing into your body, let go of some energy that maybe has been stuck or that type of thing. It's an experience about going inward.
Yes.
It's about an experience about going inward and just kind of connecting to your body, connecting to your own experience of, inner vision. Sometimes memories come up or things like that because we typically dance with our eyes closed or blindfolded.
Ooh,
yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel about that, the blindfolded bit. But I suppose if your feet were firmly on the floor, and you know that that's not moving,
and you're in a safe space.
Yes.
So there's always somebody like myself or somebody there that's going to guide you if you get near somebody else. But from feedback from clients, most people find that easier to kind of let go of your inhibitions because you don't have to worry about anybody seeing you dance.
Right.
You just get to experience what's happening in your body. And sometimes your movements are really small and sometimes they're bigger, right? It just depends on your own.
And so let's just give an overview, first of all, as to what the chakras actually are. Maybe our audience would like to actually know what our chakras
absolutely.
are. Maybe that's a word they may not understand.
Yeah, so chakra in Sanskrit means wheel. And so basically, as part of our energetic body, you could think of like our aura, we have these 7 major wheels, 7 major chakras in our body. And then we've got a whole bunch of little ones that kind of make our bodies work. But basically, these 7 major chakras, starting at the base of the spine, working up through the body, up through the spine to the very crown of the head. Each one of them represents a different aspect of our consciousness, and influences our lives. So if a chakra is really open, right, then a lot of energy passes through that. Sometimes it's in excess of a balanced chakra, and sometimes if it's really closed, then the energy can't pass through there. But as a whole, our body is always a full functioning system. And so if one chakra is not working as well as others, then there's another one compensating for that, right?
Yeah.
Chakradance just helps us kind of bring our body back into balance. Just like many other modalities, like Reiki or yoga or, different things where we're just working with our energetic body.
Exactly.
It helps us to bring that balance back into place.
And so we know with the chakras as well, we're dealing with colors.
Frequencies and colors.
And so when you set up the Chakradance, do you sort of get into the idea of colors, or do people see colors?
People may see many different things. The way the Chakradance class or workshop, we have different versions of how we run them. How they work is there's specific music that's been created by Chakradance, and Chakradance is created out of Australia. I'm a facilitator of Chakradance. So Natalie Southgate created it, and she's prepared these music to help stimulate the chakras, right? And then she's offered guided imagery, and sometimes we'll throw in our own intuition and stuff with that imagery, but basically, it takes you on a journey into it. So, for instance, if you're talking about the base chakra and you're experiencing the base chakra, we're talking about the color red. So right at the tailbone, that deep earth color. We're connecting to nature and how that works with the chakra, as well as, what that chakra is about, our instincts, our survival, our physical aspect, our physical connection to the earth. Right? So there's lots of different imagery like that will kind of play with the chakras and help you not only your body experience what needs to connect to that chakra, but also how your mind can then connect to the aspect of that chakra as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
So just thinking about the heart chakra.
Yeah.
Let's think about the heart chakra for a second. And we know that the heart chakra can be used either with pink or green.
Yeah.
Color-wise.
Yeah.
Different people use different colors for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So let's say someone comes to your class and they're dealing with some heartbreak. Let's say they're going through a breakup with a boyfriend or whatever the heartbreak may be. Do you find that people then have a tendency to be a little more stiffer, like in that area of the body?
Yeah, it really depends. Like everybody's experience is so much different. Some people might just notice that if there's some kind of a blockage in that chakra, that maybe the music, they just don't resonate with the music. They can't find movement. Maybe their dance feels really awkward. Or, maybe the music and the imagery and everything helps them connect to something within themselves that they haven't felt in a long time, and things open. Right? Yes. So things might then, there's a glimpse of the trueness of who I am inside of myself, right? And then that begins to come through, and maybe, old things are let go of and new things arrive and new possibilities emerge, right? So,
because I know in like I do gemstone therapy as well. So when I work with the chakras and go down through the 7 layers, right? And we know the bottom 4 layers are past lifetime and the upper top 3 layers are present lifetime. Working, again, I'm going to come back to the heart chakra because I think that's probably where people often feel a lot of it, even though the solar plexus kind of kicks into place there too. But, going down through, I would think dance and just thinking about the heart chakra, dance would be able to have those layers sort of slide in together, would they?
So the movement itself is a huge piece of it. That is like the main thing. We're shifting things. We're moving things. We're letting things go. We're, opening ourselves with our movements. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's more challenging, just depending on our own makeup and what's happening in our lives. And every dance is different,
Right.
I have clients that have come and done the multiple dance, like done the same dance over, and they're like, that was a totally different experience than the last time I did it, because we're shifting, we're changing.
And we're evolving.
We're evolving. Yeah, so hopefully.
That's the hope of the plan.
Yeah.
And so I assume that it also allows for the fluidity between the chakras.
Yes, because they all are connected, right? There's always something happening. They're always moving together, working together. It's a team effort,
exactly,
really, right?
And again, coming back, thinking about the heart, connecting the throat chakra with the solar plexus.
Yeah.
I mean, if the heart chakra is not really working at full base, you're not going to get a great flow through there, right?
Yeah. It may be more challenging, or maybe you find that certain aspects of your life, maybe you're driven more from your core and you're just going and doing and doing and doing all the time, when really you're not doing what your heart wants you to do.
Exactly.
Right? So there might be, So they compensate, but they work together, and it's about finding balance. It's about bringing it all in together. And
because you also don't
part.
Particularly want your third eye doing all of the work
either. No, you want
it.
You want to manifest that stuff. You want to bring it down into the earth and make it happen, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, too, people who do energy work as well, thinking about the spine and the fluidity, the necessity of the fluidity up through the spine.
Oh, yeah. That whole channel. Everything needs to be moving. Right? Everything needs to be moving for that functioning. And,
So with the actual dance, I missed the original question on the comment there, but with the original dance, there is conversation going on, like outside.
So
like guided.
Guided. So the whole dance is guided. There's going to be pieces that we're offering guidance into saying, this is what we're connecting to, helping the person connect to that chakra, the aspect of consciousness, whether it's, your willpower or your heart or your communication, all of those different things. That's all guided, and then the music plays with it, and then you get times to just dance, and then there's more imagery and guided, and then you dance, and it's just a really nice flow where you journey through the chakras.
Nice. Sounds really nice. But we're going to have to take a short break. Stay tuned as we return with our guest, Brenda Mailer, to further our discussion on Chakradance.
Hello, I'm Nancy Ketty of Bluegrass Atlantic. I'd like to invite you to listen to my show every Wednesday night. That's 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. here only on CIOE-FM 97.5 or on your web, www.communityradio.ca. And I feature the very best in local, maritime, and Atlantic bluegrass artists along with international and national artists. Again, that's Wednesday evenings, 8 to 10 p.m.
Bedford and Sackville Lions Radio Bingo, Monday nights at 7 p.m. right here. Join the fun. Bingo cards can be purchased at various locations. OVO Convenience Store, Innovation Drive at Gary Martin Drive, Bedford. Guardian Pharmacy, 1330 Fall River Road, Fall River. Uniac Pizza, 158 Highway 1, Mount Uniac. For a complete list of bingo card locations, call CIOE at 902-252-7975. Play Lions Radio Bingo Monday nights at 7 p.m. on 97.5, the voice of your community.
If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Astrologer host Holly Poole with my guest Brenda Mailer, and we're talking about Chakradance right here on 97.5 CIOE Community Radio. And so are these like kind of repetitive classes, Brenda? You know, like do people generally only come to one and that's all they do, or are they in a series? Is it kind of like yoga?
Yeah, there's different options, and different facilitators will offer different types of options that way. The dances can be done as a one-stop, bam, right? Go try it, right? Where maybe we have like a workshop that happens like once a month or something like that, right? And that'll take you on a full journey through the chakras, right? So you'll get a nice balance through the whole thing. But it's also meant to be done in more of a regular practice. So Natalie has created a series or cycles, we like to call them, where we do like a 9-week cycle. You start with an intro and you work through the whole, and then the next week you do the whole, but then you do a focus in the one chakra. Okay. And each week you focus inward on a different chakra. And so over the course of a 9-week period, you really get a whole balance, and you get time to let things integrate into your life, right? Yeah. So, you know, on a week when you're focusing on the sacral chakra, you know, you may notice a lot of things in your life around fluidity or maybe even just sensation or, you know, your emotions, creativity, all of that type of thing, right? So when somebody can go through the whole cycle of it, there's just so much more gained by being in it for a longer period of time, just like, you know, over years of practicing something like yoga or going for regular Reiki treatments or things like that, right?
So how did you get into it?
Well, I first saw it about 4 years ago. I was in the middle of my yoga teacher training program, and I saw an ad online, and I was like, ooh, that's really interesting, but I wasn't quite in a place where I could take it yet. Yeah. So I moved out to Nova Scotia a few years ago, and I was in the middle of, you know, getting my yoga practice going. I thought, maybe now is a great time to try it. So I enrolled online the other year and took the training, and it's all done online, so that's really easy. Right. And I went through the facilitation, got certified, and I've been doing classes now for almost a year. So I started doing classes last August, at the end of last August. And I've done them in Halifax, I've done them in Upper Tantallon, I went up to Truro, I've been out to Mahone Bay. So really just trying to
you travel.
Yeah, travel around a little bit with it and try and get, you know, more and more people to experience it and help it grow. And
well, I think awareness is the major big key.
Yeah, right? huge things. People are like, what is Chakradance? What do you mean you dance blindfolded? Eek, right?
Kind of like I did at the beginning. Yes,
but it's not like you have to dance blindfolded.
No,
that's just a suggestion to help you journey inward. It helps you let go. Right,
and
the external.
It takes out the exterior things that's going on.
Exactly, like you don't notice the things on the walls, or that's you know what's you know.
Oh, I fully understand it.
Yeah,
I just wasn't expecting it. That was the only piece that made me go, oh, yeah. And so, you know, it brings me back to think about, you know, sometimes when you go shopping and stuff, you notice that there's a lot of people out there who are really stiff.
Yeah.
You know, who are really not that fluid or flexible, or I can think of all kinds of people off the top of my mind.
Yeah.
And, you know, we come in then and we then I'm sure look at, is it stuck energy?
Right. Yeah. What are you holding? You know, what's
or what are you fearful?
What are you fearful of?
Letting go of?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the importance of each one of the chakras. Mm-hmm. So let's take a very brief few minutes and just go through each one of the chakras.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So let's start with the base.
With the base chakra, root chakra, It's our chakra of survival. Basically, it's how we connect to the physical earth. It's where our instincts lie, our ancestry, you know, things like that, right? It really connect us to the earth. It's where we manifest, right? So the things that we think about and dream about, that's where it actually happens, is when we connect it to the earth and through the root. Right. Yeah. The sacral chakra, that is our chakra of like water, sensuality, creativity, reproduction, all of that, right? That all happens in there. And so that's the lower belly, lower back area.
And that's an orange, right?
And that's an orange color. Yes. Yeah. So do the colors too. Yeah. And then you move up into the solar plexus. So that is our will center, our gut, our intuition as well, a little bit with you get those gut feelings. Real masculine energy, the color of yellow, the sun, all that. Then you move up into the heart. We've got the green or the pink, like you say, different kind of colors within that, which is like air. So we represent that with the element of air, our love, how we love in our lives, right? And how we interact with love. And then we move into the throat. We've got the color blue. This is more etherical, like the sound. Sometimes, I invite people in Chakradance to just make sound when we get to the throat chakra. So just like, or ooh, or, just whatever sounds want to come out. They don't have to sound good.
They don't have to sing, in other
You don't
words.
have to sing. It's just about letting sound happen. Right? Use your voice. And so that's the throat chakra. And then we go into the third eye. We've got the ajna, the third eye there, and that's our center of intuition. Color indigo, right? And
so a deeper blue.
A deeper blue, deeper blue. And then you get the crown chakra, which is really our connection to source, our connection to oneness. In Chakradance, we like to really accentuate that's our connection to each other as as our connection to like cosmos or the universe or that sort of thing. So that's where the oneness resides.
And opens up
whole
plane, which allows then for certainly the flow down.
Yes, exactly. So the flow up is just as important as the flow down.
Right.
So,
I was just going to ask that actual question. Actually,
so we have journeys that take you from the ground, from the base up to the crown, and then we've got other journeys that will take you from the crown down to the base.
So let's talk about the journeys.
Yeah.
What are you talking about when you talk about the journeys?
The journeys. So the dances, right? So we've got workshops that will focus on, going from, connecting to the earth and then moving up to our crown chakra and everything in between. And then we've got dances that will take us into the crown and then work our way down into the root. And so the base to crown is really a liberation type sensation.
Right.
Whereas the crown to the base is more like a manifestation type sensation where we're bringing our ideas down into the earth to make them happen. Yeah. Yeah. So.
And the flow of energy.
Yeah.
Would be very different.
Yes, it would be. Yeah. People that really find they're connected to their, intuition and their dreaming and that type of thing, sometimes have a hard time connecting to the root.
Right.
Right. And so both channels and both journeys are very important, to help us, connect to those that are maybe not as easy to connect to.
Well, I know in the astrology world, for instance, sometimes when people have a lot of fire in their chart, they have a very difficult time grounding. Like their feet just doesn't touch the ground. Right. So sometimes in an astrology reading, we'll talk about how to best ground because we need both, right?
Absolutely. We need both. We need everything. We need all of that to be working to, really create and to live our purpose and, and be fulfilled in our lives, really.
And then you have other people who have a lot of air, which is mentality in their chart. And so the mentality, then, they spend a lot of time in their head, which then means there's not a whole lot of going down either.
Right.
You know,
so we want to help them.
Yes, often their heart is then an issue because, you know, they've got the fight going on directly within the head, and so on. But it's time for another quick break. Stay with us right here on 97.5 CIOE-FM Community Radio.
I'm Rob Smith, host of Brother Rob's Gospel Hour, every Sunday morning here on CIOE-FM, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. All types of gospel music, from country to classical to folk, local, national, and international. 8 o'clock every Sunday morning here on CIOE-FM 97.5.
Welcome back, everyone. We return to our last segment of our talk today with Brenda Mailer. We're talking about Chakradance. And for a second, I want to come back to, you were talking about workshops, and you were talking about, then, you do a workshop per chakra, we'll say, and so on. So do generally people sign up for all the workshops, or can they sort of come in intermittently?
Yeah.
Is it better to do the series?
Yeah. If we're setting up like an individual workshop where it's just one day, then then just a person come in. But to really gain the benefit of the full experience when you're doing a 9-week series, 9-week cycle, it is best to sign up for the whole thing, right? So it's really a commitment for those 9 weeks, like you're taking a class for 9 weeks,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And that way, the group that you're working with also is very important because it becomes more of a supportive environment where now each week you're coming together as a group. And you're sharing, you're connecting, you're holding space for each other, that type of thing, and it's quite interesting, even just the connections that form, even in just a single class. When people that are like-minded come together, it's just really beautiful to see that community aspect
and a synergy.
Yeah, a synergy. Oh, for sure. Like you see threads of common issues or interests or things. Like it's beautiful how it all works.
I always say the universe keeps me in awe. They absolutely do. And whenever I come out of being in awe, I'll give up the whole business of the whole spirituality business. But it's been a lot of years, so it hasn't happened yet. I suspect it won't then. But it's so interesting how like certain groups come together.
Yeah.
So generally, how big are your classes? Are we talking 8 people, 15 people, 20 people?
I personally like to keep my classes around 7 because we work with the 7 chakras.
Right.
And for just facilitating myself and making sure everybody is safe, that feels like a good number for me. If I was to do more than that, I would need somebody else there also to just ensure people are not running into each other.
Right.
And it depends on the size of the space as well. I like people to have room to move, and I don't want them to be worried about hitting something or someone else, right? So I like 7. I'm not sure what the sizes other girls do, but typically I've heard like anywhere up to like 10.
Okay.
And I've done a class where there was 10 in once. Yeah.
So is there a tendency for people within the class to sort of share what they're feeling?
Yeah, so there's the class opens with a meditation. We do the dance. We do mandala art, which we haven't talked about at all. We do create art. There's an integration period where we actually create art to help integrate the experience, and then we do just a small piece. We call it feedback, but really it's just a moment to share something from your experience, and that's where you see a lot of the threads of common things.
Yeah,
happen.
And people feel more comfortable with the group as they go
along. Yeah.
Which is kind of what happens with the group.
Yeah.
There are other people within
there
the
are
area?
Other girls within the area, yeah. There's Jennifer Bootlier. She's up in Wolfville. She can be found on Facebook at Recharge with Jenergy. Spelled with her name, Jennergy. And she's in Wolfville. And then Michelle Anstey is in Lawrencetown Beach, and she's focusing on classes in Dartmouth, Cole Harbour area.
Right.
And you can find her at Chakradance with Michelle on Facebook as well. And she's also on Meetup. She also has classes that she posts on Meetup as well.
And is that Michelle with 2 L's or 1?
2 L's.
2 L's,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And then myself, you can find class information at seabrightspirit.ca, and I'm also on Facebook at Seabrightspirit.
And would you spell that,
please? SEABRIGHT, Spirit.
So you also incorporate some yoga into this as well, correct?
I don't incorporate yoga into this per se.
Okay.
I am a yoga instructor as well. I have classes. Someday I'll probably end up doing some sort of workshop that includes yoga, chakra dance, and a few other things. I'm also a life coach, so everything slowly keeps integrating more and more.
It's funny how that happens,
Yeah.
how it all just really comes together. And,
yeah.
And I think everybody in the spirituality world just has their hands in just about everything.
Yeah.
Right? Because it just all, life is not as the two eyes see.
No, it's much more than that.
And so along with that certainly comes the fact of, I would think that people get so much out of this chakra dance.
Yeah. It really is a beautiful experience. We like to really talk about how it is coming home to yourself. It's really about coming home to yourself. It's just connecting within, letting go of some of the stuff on the external, and just being with yourself and just giving yourself that time.
It just feels so lovely. Actually, I really hope that I'm able to grab some of your classes somewhere along the way.
I hope so too.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us, Brenda. Thank you for coming in today. I know we had a little bit of time change, so I appreciate you showing up.
I really appreciate you having me. Thank you.
We look forward next week for another enlivening conversation on Welcome to My World program right here at 97.5 CIOE-FM Community Radio on Mondays at 10:30 a.m. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to contact me, Holly at communityradio.ca, or follow me on Facebook, Holly Poole Astrology. Thank you for allowing both myself and Brenda to share our world with you.